Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the live stream here from the Royal Melbourne Showgrounds on this Friday. Lovely conditions here at the moment. No wind like we had yesterday, and I think we're in for a good day of showing. They're predicting a few showers throughout the day, very, very light, and maybe a little bit of hail later on this afternoon. So we'll keep our fingers crossed that the conditions stay as good as they are for as long as they can, while we bring you all the hack classes here from 10 a.m. this morning. As we said, we welcome you here to our live stream right through till our lunchtime entertainment. So sit back and enjoy, and we'll show you the pictures and bring you the pictures here from Ring 2 as we begin with class number 261, our show hunter hack over 15 hands and not over 15-2. Well, once again, we welcome all our friends on the live stream, wherever you're watching us. We're about to join everyone down there in Class 261, which is our show hunter hack over 15 hands and not over 15-2. And we'll pop down and join our commentator down there on the live stream in Casey Bruce in just a second. But Casey, if you can hear me down there, welcome this morning. And also at the same time, perhaps maybe you might like to share with us or describe a little bit about the show hunter.
Well, our show hunter hacks is what we are looking at the moment. When we describe our show hunter hacks, we look at them and they offer more bone, more substance than that of the modern fine show hacks that we would bring in. I think tomorrow our show hacks come in here. So at the moment we are utilising our show hunter hacks. So we're looking for that type of horse that has that same ability to be able to provide a smooth and an even ride, and of course have that reliable temperament. So when we look at our hunter classes, at times they are quite often asked by the judge to provide a gallop, perhaps a hand gallop, in the circumstance that we are trying to envisage our hunters going across all terrains. It doesn't matter whether it's a sort of a rougher surface, or of course going out into the fields where we have the hounds in front of us going across jumps. Obviously in this particular class, this is not a working hunter class, so we're not asking them to jump as such, but we are trying to simulate, if I can put it to that point, about being in the open hunter fields and you're looking for a horse that carries you all day long. So as we say, as far as temperament's concerned for our hunters, sometimes the judges will overlook small misdemeanours, but other judges may mark that down because, bearing in mind, our hunters are supposed to be more reliable than that of our open hacks. So currently the class that we are watching is class 261, our show hunter hacks for our horses over 15 and not over 15-2. We've seen all of our novice classes go through this morning. So for those of you that are sitting at home, if you want to know whom the best novice show hunter hack was, well, it was Prima Donna for Rachel Addison, was the horse that won that particular best novice class. So Richard Rice from Western Australia is our judge out here, and when I get the opportunity, as you can see, he's in the midst of judging now, so we won't disturb him, or I dare not disturb him whilst he's judging. But once he makes up his decision and his mindset for whom's going to win this particular class, I'll invite all of our people at home to hear from our judge as to what he's looking for. And this is the beauty of the live stream, because as I said yesterday and the day before, like, whilst I'm down here on ringside, our people in the grandstand, our competitors, they actually can't hear what I've got to say. And of course, when I speak to the judge, they can't hear what the judge has to say. So the beauty of it is we can go get up close and personal with our judge and ask him exactly what it is that he is looking for, his type of horse and what he judges on. And I always find it a little bit interesting. One of the other things that I've noted and observed from doing the live stream is what I see out here, actually in the middle of the ring, almost on the same level as our judge, is not quite often what I would see in the broadcast box doing the main commentary at Melbourne Show, and sitting in the grandstand also. It's hard to say that they're actually two different views. When you're out here and you're seeing all those finer little details, you can see the riders working overtime on their horses, pushing them forward, utilising their seat and their hands and their legs. Sometimes you don't see that from up in the grandstand or sitting at home watching our live stream. So just watching that different view. As you can see, this particular horse here just almost being a little lazy for this particular rider. She had to really give him a good kick then to say, now come on, listen to me, I'm riding you. So 1437 is the horse that we are watching currently on screen. And if you give me a moment, I'll flick in my catalogue. So 1437 is Lauren Peters' nomination, Riverwood Rio. Actually, I might go across and speak to this rider. She's blowing. He didn't make it that easy work. I'll follow her along. I tell you what, I can give a good track rating here. Let me tell you, the sand is very deep. All right, Lauren, he looked like he was being a difficult ride, and you're having a little bit of a blow after that. He didn't make that easy.
No, I am a little bit tired after that one. He's already been out here twice this morning, so he's also tired.
And that's the problem, unfortunately, when we start showing, is our horses do get tired. And as I said, you were working overtime. Generally a really smooth, easy ride for you?
Yeah, he is usually a really good ride.
He looks nice and comfortable.
Definitely.
That's what we're looking for in our hunter classes. As I said, those horses that really canter across the fields offer a really smooth ride for each and every one of our competitors. Bearing in mind, he was being exceptionally lazy. Yes, I'm talking to you, big fella. But he is what we would classify a hunter type, one of those horses that carry you all day long. Let's have a look at our next combination when they come down around past me. Number 574 is DP Standing Ovation, nominated by Jake Kerr. So as we are watching the live stream for the majority of the day today, it's the bonus of having me out here at the moment is I get to get down ringside, but a little bit later on today you'll be joined from Rob Gaylard, my co-commentator in the broadcast box, as today is actually a special day here at Melbourne Royal where we have our Gary Owen High Tea. Some of our hunting riders might be joining us a little bit later for that, where we have our rider draw for the Gary Owen here on Sunday, and we also induct some lucky people into our Gary Owen Hall of Fame. So 578 is Rotstom, nominated by Georgia Greenwell and John DeMarco. So by the looks of things for this particular workout, our judges asked for an extension of the trot and, of course, a hand gallop. So he's throwing down a gauntlet to a lot of these competitors. Not that it's a hard thing to do, an extension of the trot or a hand gallop, but it just makes sure that these horses are really on their game. And it's interesting, I'm watching him judge and he's got almost the same as me. He's got a pen and paper out here and he's writing down all the little things, for example, the changing, the simple changes, everything. He's marking all the points down as how he sees it so he doesn't forget. It's great to see a judge utilising that. There's some friends and family in the crowd that are pretty happy with that workout here from 578, and of course being Rotstom. It's amazing how many people actually are behind the scenes helping put these horses together and prepare them for a Royal Show. As a rider, sometimes you're a little bit luckier, you're just the one that comes out and does all the riding, but it's the people behind the scenes that work tirelessly, the hours, plaiting, washing, false tails, putting the patterns on their backsides. Some of our riders do that all themselves as well, don't get me wrong, but when you come to a Royal Show, there's normally a really good team sitting in the grandstands watching you. So 1385 is the next of our horses out here at the moment. So 1385 is Ariston Liaison, nominated by the Ariston Stud. Just not really wanting to cooperate with the length of the trot there, but a nice smooth, even change up into the canter. Again, we're getting the chance to really see our rider working overtime here, keeping the horse focused on the task in hand. As I've mentioned before, it is actually quite intriguing being down ringside to see all the riders working tirelessly to make sure that their horse stays in the correct frame whilst pushing them forward with their seat at the same time and encouraging them to stride out. Down to a nice hold and a salute in front of our judge. 902 will be the next horse out, which is Frodo Oberson, nominated by Bridget Sell and Michelle Walton. Well, I'm hoping today we don't see any rain. It almost to a degree has been threatening that it's going to rain. But I do hope that the rain holds off for all of our competitors' sakes. As I said, not that it's really going to bother me this afternoon. I'll be inside, but it's always nice to keep all your beautiful gear dry. Otherwise, you'll be working tirelessly behind the scenes tonight, cleaning it all again, ready for competition tomorrow. Now, I have noticed one thing about this judge. From watching through a few previous classes this morning, he does go a lot off his workout. So how he calls them in off the circle, just again, I haven't spoken to him yet, so I haven't got his opinion. But having watched his previous classes this morning, those being the novice classes, how he calls them in off the circle is not often how he places them. So if they happen to come out here and put forward a really sensational workout like we're seeing now, this particular rider's offering a little bit different, offering a simple change through the canter, back from, should I say, from a walk to the canter, so just offering that little bit extra. But this judge is not necessarily how he calls them in, and is that the way he places them. So as I said, he's got his pen and paper and he's marking each and every one of these horses. So don't think that how they line up is how they're going to be placed out here. And a lovely free rein walk. Always like seeing a good walk, especially a nice long free rein where the horses really stretch down and utilise all those beautiful back muscles. But it's always nice too that, especially in these hunter classes, when you have a horse give you a really nice hand gallop down the long side, so to speak, and then they can walk back on a nice long rein as relaxed as if you hadn't even done the last movement. It's good to see. Let's take a look at this next combination. And And that is the combination of 404, Secret Downs Kobe Secret, nominated by Tracy Unthink. Well, let's watch this combination and see how much they deliver us in the way of an extension. Now, I'm looking at the screen here. For everybody back at home, you get a really good shot of them coming straight at you, but unfortunately, you're not on the angle as to see them step out if they do happen to step out for a lengthen of stride. So you'll almost have to rely on my word. Lovely, clean, simple change. Now, Judge, I was watching him then, he did mark that down. I think he's really, by the looks of things, he's really going off the obedience of these horses to the rider's aids, if I can say that. But again, I'd like to have a talk to him. This rider's got a lovely soft pair of hands. This horse is working around on quite a long hole, but not unlike what we've seen from a few of these hunters, and maybe that might be a point, as they've already been out a few times this morning. Some of them are just looking a little lazy. Our riders are really working, pushing. Do I dare say that's a bit unusual from a Royal Show? Because normally it's the opposite way. Sometimes a lot of these horses are like firecrackers. When we have, at times, a lot of children screaming in the crowds and a bit of action with the Ferris wheel over behind them. So sometimes it kind of works to the opposite. But out here, a few of these horses just being a little lazy. So I'll make my way out into the arena for a bit, just so that I can have a look at this judge. And he's really having a nice look over this lineup. And as I said, he's asked one horse to come forward so that he can have a good look at them. Obviously, it wasn't standing correctly for him in the lineup, so he just wanted to make sure that the horse's legs were clean. It's often quite hard. I don't know about everybody back at home, but as we say, it's getting quite difficult now to find almost those perfect clean legs. Some of these horses have been off the track horses, and at times our horses that come in off the tracks may have splints or done tendons, or plenty of suspensories, injuries such as that. So to find these hacks nowadays that have got those perfect clean legs can be a real task. So our judge, as you can see, has made sure he's looked over everything on these particular horses in terms of conformation and what he's looking for. And I think it's a real tribute to our judge, because when we see them work out, we often don't get the opportunity to get up close and personal with these horses. He spends most of the time telling his stewards what he requires, and the stewards are the ones that get up and close to the horses, not really the judge. So it's only here in the lineup that our judge really gets to see these horses up close for everything he is looking for. As we'll make our way down to the presentation area. Just before these horses line up, I'll walk alongside of our judge, Richard. Nice to have you here, Richard, joining us from Western Australia. Tell everybody back at home on the live stream, because of course it doesn't have any effect to this class and you've judged it, but what is it that you're actually looking for? What is your type of horse?
I like a type of horse that travels the ground nicely. It shows a bit of substance, especially within the hunter classes. The grounds are a little bit soft, so you have to forgive a few little misdemeanors today. But other than that, the quality's been fantastic, and thank you very much for Melbourne for allowing me to be over here and judging.
Well, I'm enjoying watching you judge. I like your little notebook too. We'll let you place these horses, how you see them, and I'm looking forward to see how you place this class. So there you go. Our judge is being forgiving of the terrain out here. Remember, we have monster trucks and all sorts of things coming out onto our main arena. So let's sit back and await the results here for class 261. So let's sit back and see how he maneuvers this lineup. Our winner, as I said, he maneuvers the classes is number 578. It's Rotstorm, owned by Georgia Greenwell and John DeMarco. Second place, go to 698. Delegate, nominated by J&R Equestrian, owned by Olivia Duffram. Third goes to 1437. Revelwood Rio, nominated by Lauren Peters from Gisborne South here in Victoria. Fourth goes to 574. DP Standing Ovation, nominated by Jake Kerr. Our fifth goes to 203, Boundary Farm Debonair, nominated by Michelle Gregory. And our sixth goes to 1385. It's Ariston Liaison, nominated by the Ariston Stud. Well, Georgia and the team are very happy out here. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
It's always good, and I mentioned it on our live stream, our judge, not often where he calls them is where he places them. I've been watching him this morning, and you were called about 4th or 5th in the line?
Yeah. So we were on the second heat and got called in the second heat, so very happy with how he worked, and I kind of asked for any more.
Well, there you go, everybody back at home. Congratulations to all the team, and obviously winning this class is Rotstorm, continuing on success at Royal Show level. So as we watch this class leave the arena, congratulations once more to Georgia Greenwell and John DeMarco, winning class 261. Well, if you are all joining us from our live stream, welcome back to a very rainy, gusty Royal Melbourne show. What a difference the class makes. And I tell you what, our horses aren't that happy about it either. Typical of a lot of our hacks, once they all want to turn their bottoms into the rain. But our judge is about to get wet, so very sorry to Richard Rice down here. This is the first bit of rain that we have seen for Melbourne Show so far. So if you are watching from the comfort of your home, grab a cup of coffee and warm up from all of us out here because the temperature's just dropped and the rain is falling.
I started riding.
So our steward has just called for a trot on.
Not quite. In the little kids on the ponies age, I was a little bit older than a lot of people. I started when I was 12 and went to Pony Club at Longford Pony Club.
So as you can see, our horses are currently working out in front of our judge.
And I got my first.
And believing it or not, just watching these horses working at the moment, they're actually all working really, really lovely, considering the weather that's just blown in on them as they've walked out onto the arena. Some few offering some beautiful work. So remembering, if you've just joined into the live stream to watch this particular class, our judge is looking for a horse that covers a lot of ground, that works softly and kindly, and he's forgiving small misdemeanours when we spoke to him before because the ground is relatively uneven out here and quite heavy. So he's starting to call these horses in. By the looks of things, as I said, I'm a long way away from the event. I'm down in the steward's marquee to get out of the rain, but at the moment it looks as though he's called 4 horses in off this circle. And we are now about to bring out heat number 2. So out comes heat number 2. Some of these horses we saw a little bit earlier in their novice classes, and now this being an open class, they're coming back out again to see how they fare in what we would classify as probably the harder class. You've got horses out here that have already won at Royal Show level. So this is 262. This is our show hunter hack for our horses 15 2 hands and not over 16 hands. Again, thank you to Catherine Swartz for her contribution out here throughout our hunter hack section. So our steward is now called for trot. Some of the horses in this particular heat look a little bit stiffer than those in the last heat. I guess the advantage of being in the first heat was when that weather came in, they had the opportunity just to work their horses through it, whereas the second heat has been standing there, standing in the rain. So as we watch our judge now. So by the looks of things, our judge has already called in 3 horses, and it would be interesting to see whether he brings anybody else in or whether he calls that's all. He looks as though he's bringing 1 more into the workout. So let's sit back and watch this workout. I don't envisage that it would be any different to what we've seen previously from the last class, where our judge is asking for I think as a walkout. I think maybe it was a trot figure of 8 and a lengthen where we deliver some canter work. So let's sit back and have another look as we take a glance at the very first of our horses to work out here. Well, the rain seems to have stopped for now, dare I say it, but it doesn't deter from the temperature. It's quite cold. So 669 is the very first of the horses. This is Prima Donna and Rachel Addison, currently working out. And we see Richards marking down on his book. I'd love to actually get up close and personal to see what he's marking down. Now we know he likes this horse. It was your best novice winner. Let's see if it can go through to taking the open class as well. It can be done. We've seen it in previous years. The judges always stick true to their type. And he does like this horse and the way it works. And a lovely simple change through the centre where we'll have a hand gallop. So again, this was a really lovely, neat workout displayed by Prima Donna, number 669, Rachel Addison's nomination. And this is about the time where I need some in-ears and a pair of binoculars so that I can gather the number for these horses. Again, a lovely type of horse that we are seeing on the screen here is 1634. (1634) is Quantador, nominated by Andrea Merry. Another lovely hunter type of horse is the horse that we are watching, Quantador. Let's see how he delivers an extension, and that is actually lovely. From a side-on picture, that is a beautiful lengthen across the front or the side. And what I meant to say was you're all seeing this from a front-on view, so you don't get the opportunity to have a look at this class like I do from being down on the judges' level. Lovely simple change. Now let's see what we can offer here from the hand gallop. This workout has almost been foot perfect so far, so offering down a really nice challenge to the horse that worked out first. Now we're starting to get a little bit more pace for our hand gallop. Coming back down nice and kindly through the transitions, back to a nice canter, working canter. Again, back down smoothly through to the trot. And there are people in the crowd that are clapping early. They're pretty happy with that. And that was a really neat workout displayed there. This is a beauty about live stream. How do you see this? We know he likes the horse that he worked first. It was his type earlier this morning. The second horse has come out and offered every bit as good a workout as what the first horse did. Really neat, really lovely. Another beautiful horse that we are seeing at the moment is 1275. Actually, I'll have to double check this. I think that might be a 1375 because I'm so far away. I reckon there will be a 3 in there, so I'll have to make my way out into the rain again for everybody back at home, as so I don't stuff up the numbers. But either way, let's have a look at the extension and lengthen across, and it is beautiful. A lovely lengthen of stride. So here I come. Make sure I get the number for you all. And it's a 1375. As I thought, it's Di Cavalli Royal Rory, nominated by Abby Lovell. Abby's just thrown her weight out of the saddle then to show the judge, well, she's actually going to gallop this horse. Have a look at that beautiful stepping action on this horse as he goes around. He's the type of hunter that I'd love to ride, this fellow. Of course, he too has been a very successful horse at royal level. He's the horse that we are currently watching on screen. And almost another foot perfect workout, so our judge is going to have a hard time deciphering whom his winner and place getters are going to be from this class. What a tough class. Some really good quality horses in this. How do you see it at home, everyone? I wouldn't want to be the judge, let me tell you. (1576) is SLM Valentino, nominated by Bryony Lee, owned by Bryony as well, is the horse that we are currently watching. I'll try and make my way out into the background of some of these competitors again and get the chance to speak to them now that the job's done. Ladies, how are we all this morning? Nice of it to rain for your class, isn't it, Divine?
I know, just in time. It was lovely this morning.
Well, you've already had success this morning, winning our best novice. Congratulations. Would it feel to be just that little bit special to go through and actually win your open class too?
I know it would be, but...
It's a tough class.
I know, it's a very tough class.
I've been sitting here watching just about every workout that's gone so far, and I'd hate to be in the judge's shoes, let me tell you. Well, Di Cavalli Royal Rory never seems to let you down. He looks a beautiful ride for you.
He is. He's absolutely amazing to ride. I feel very lucky to own him and be able to be out here competing in this beautiful arena.
The weather's not ideal, but would we say it's perfect hunting conditions?
It is, exactly. They should be able to go in the rain, so it's putting it on so that they can put them to the true test.
Well, we spoke to our judge before and have enjoyed watching the way and how he sees this class. He said the ground's quite soft out there. You being on horseback would be able to feel that. What's it like going across the terrain? Because we've had monster trucks and all sorts of things out there.
So far, I think it's holding up really well. Good grounds to go for a bit of a gallop, which is nice, and not too slippery, which is good even with the wet conditions. So,
well, good luck, Abby.
Thank you so much.
Well, here's Andrea. We love this horse. He's one of my favourites. Another very successful horse. Beautiful workout he displayed out there.
Thank you. Yes, he is getting a bit cold with a bit of rain, so he held it together pretty well.
That's what I was saying before. A lot of the horses, you were kind of in the first heat. You had a little bit of advantage because when that weather really started to come down, you guys were managing to get your horses out and working through it, whereas the second heat was standing here in the rain. So it made their horses a little bit stiffer.
It definitely does, and it's just the joys of showing, I guess. You have to work with all the elements, but we were, fortunate to get in that gate first, I guess.
It's very difficult to win at royal level, especially when you sort of read through the names of these horses and the horses that are in this particular height class. It's a hard height class to win.
Oh, absolutely, it's a hard class to win. We have the utmost respect for all of these competitors. We're actually all really good friends, so it's really, really enjoyable to show with all of them.
It's nice to hear that there's that little bit of a camaraderie amongst all of our riders. And this particular horse out here that we are just watching on screen just offered once more a little bit different element to the workout. We just saw a flying change through the centre to show our judge that this horse is very well educated, which is what we're looking for out here. 289 is Coldstream Ultimate, nominated by Wendy Stratford and owned by Chloe Stratford and J&R Equestrian. Well, again, another nice workout displayed. Well, this really isn't doing justice for my hair for the high tea later on this afternoon. Is this rain? Let me tell you, I'm not impressed with the rain. Okay, our next horse, another very big stepping horse with a lot of elevation. We've got 1, 4, 7, 8. This is Axe Rumour Has It, owned by Abby Heifer. I'll speak to Jess. Jess Stones it is now instead of Jess Stalling. She's changed her name. She's a married lady. Big type of horse, carries himself quite high but has a lot of elevation in the movement, Jess. Is he difficult to ride in a sense that he's quite bouncy?
No, he's actually really comfortable to ride. He's just a little bit unsettled. He's not seen the big screen before, but no, he's actually beautiful to ride.
And that's the thing when you bring these horses out to royal shows, and especially here at Melbourne because it's a smaller arena and you get the opportunity to see the big screen there. Sometimes our horses just don't like it, do they?
Yeah, no, I've been out here on the track this morning, but with the screen off, it's totally different to when the screen's on and there's things flashing and moving all the time.
Joining me for the high tea this afternoon?
Yeah, if I can.
I was going to say, busy girl, you're always out and about. Hopefully you'll do it. If not, I'm sure she'll have someone there representing her for the high tea, ready for the Gary Owen. We'll see this lady in the Gary Owen and maybe some of these riders also in our Gary Owen Equestrian turnout out here on Sunday. So 1765 will be our next horse out, Le Debonair for Paula Heffernan. So this is Paula out on the main arena at the moment as we're watching La Debonair, owned by Paige. So again, another beautiful horse that we are watching on screen for this particular class. Very forward-moving type of hunter. One of those hunters that you like to see cover a lot of ground, as this big fellow does. Let's see what he offers in an extension and a lengthen of stride. Lovely simple change through the centre. And this rider's from a racing background, so she won't be afraid to let her horse run. She rides a lot of track work, Paula. Family very much involved in the racing industry. And 1274, our last horse to work out here is DP Majestic, owned by Shannon Cantwell, nominated by Cara Woolcock. Well, it's not very often I get the chance to interview one of my best friends down here. Paula, how did you enjoy your ride?
Yeah, it was a really good ride. I was very happy with him.
How's the weather? Had any play when you came out here? Obviously, the rain started to come down and horses got a little bit unsettled, but it's nice to get them out and have a workout where it looked free-flowing and pretty easy.
Yeah, he was a bit worried at the start, but we got through it and he was worked perfect, so I couldn't complain.
Tell us about this bloke, where you fared him, how did you purchase him, where did he come from?
He came from Abbey Lovell from Queensland, and we've had him for 2 years now. And I bought him off my sister, so I have to thank her for that.
It's always good when you get to purchase something from your sister. It's almost like a hand-me-down, but it wasn't a hand-me-down. You had to pay for it.
That's it.
Oh, sisterly love. She's had to pay her sister for a horse. It's always fun, but let me tell you, her sister is her #1 strapper, so she might have got the horse off her sister, but at the end of the day, her sister's her #1 fan. Again, another lovely big hand gallop across the ground as we're seeing out here now. So for everybody sitting at home, as far as commentary is concerned, from having me out here down on ground level, this will be my last class down on ground level, as we have a very busy day today in terms of the Gary Owen High Tea. So for those of you that are getting bored sitting and listening to me, guess what? This is your last class, you lucky devils. But bearing in mind, we will still continue to live stream our Show Hunter hacks for everybody back at home. So our Show Hunter hacks will still be involved. So our judge is doing what he's done previously, where he's going to now line these horses up to have one last look over them. Isn't it funny, the tricks of the trade when we look at some of our show horses here? In terms of a lot of them have had raven oil down through their beautiful black legs to really highlight their points, and with the rain, unfortunately, all that black has now leaked down onto their white socks, so not quite as white as what they were. But I don't think our judge is judging on how white their socks are. Well, I don't know about you all sitting at home, but I'm actually really excited to see how he places this class. This is a really strong class of horses out here. Very high level competition. And a lot of horses that have all won at big shows, national shows, won at royal shows. They're all in this class. Sitting down and going to anxiously await. So I'll make my way down to the presentation area and await these horses coming across. But I am very excited to see whom his winner will be out of this class. What a strong class. Well, here they come. As you can see on the big screen, our judge and stewards are all making their way across. In fact, because I get the chance to do this, I'm going to have a little look at the judge's little notepad here and learn a bit from him. See, this is the beauty about being at Royal Shows, is I actually really love learning off our judges. If you've ever had the chance to be a judge, if you're sitting at home, especially a judge at any show, whether it be an agricultural, a pre-royal, or just a winter woolies, whatever it may be, these judges are our Royal Show judges, and they are that for a reason. They are very accomplished equestrians in their own right, and I do thoroughly enjoy watching this. I'm waiting in anticipation to see how you've placed this class. This is one hell of a lineup of horses in front of you.
There is, and unfortunately when there's so many in a class, when you get the gate, it's not a really good experience, and it's sometimes hard when your horse isn't fantastic on the ring, so this time to shine basically. There's a few disappointments in this class, but other than that, I was more than impressed with the quality that they've got here.
Well, I look forward to seeing what you've called first. We'll sit back and wait for the main broadcast to make the announcement down for our ring. Well, the cold weather, this is what happens when we bring our hacks in. Sometimes the cold weather upsets a lot of them, but well, let's sit back and have a look. This is the results now, ladies and gentlemen. For Class 262, our show hunter hack over 15.2 and not exceeding 16 hands. Again, thank you to Catherine Swartz. 1375 is our winner, Dickavali Royal Rory. Well done, Abby. Second goes to 1478. Axe Rumour Has It, owned by Abby Heffer. Congratulations, Abby. It's an Abby and an Abby. Third goes to 669. Prima Donna and Rachel Addison. Fourth goes to 1634, Quantador, nominated by Andrea Merry and also owned by Andrea as well. Well done. Our fifth goes to 1576, SLM Valentino, owned by Bryony Lee. And our sixth ribbon goes to 1765, Le Debonair, ridden by Paula Heffernan and owned by Paula as well. So they are the results, ladies and gentlemen, as they stand out here for class number 262, our show hunter hack over 15.2 and not over 16 hands. Well, Abby, we said it before, whoever won this class was going to take the cake. I guess I hope there's some cake back in the stalls waiting for you.
Oh, definitely. I'm absolutely thrilled. It's so nice to be out on my own horse. Paul Austin's been nothing but amazing support to get me out here, and it's just amazing to be rewarded in such an amazing class of beautiful horses. So.
Well, I ran into you before we had this class, and you did say you're going to try and do it on your own, and you've done just that. Congratulations. The blue ribbon is yours as we await our red coat to ride off these lovely class of show hunter hacks. As I said, from me, this is it from being down here on ringside. I hope you've all enjoyed having us live stream this particular class. And of course, the last class, our live stream does continue. However, I just won't be ringside for you all. So I'll now throw the reins up to my broadcasting father, Rob Gaylard, to take over the live stream for you all.
Well done, you.
very much. Thank you very much. Well, you noticed they're not doing it down here in Ring 2 today. I've gone to the ringmaster and I've said to him, "What? Due respect to the code." Wayne, I said, with due respect, if you've noticed today, have you noticed that the crowd cheering and yelling down in front of you? He said, yeah, I have. And you haven't noticed it all show? I said, because they're riding the horse up and they're picking a minute from the fourth one, from the third one, or from the second. So all of a sudden people see them line up 1, 2, 3, 5. They already know who won. And I said, there's people at home. I said, it takes their theatre out of it. And he said, well, it's up to the judge to decide. I mentioned that to Claire when I was talking to him. He's on me. He's doing it for me. The judge is after me down there because I've asked him. And he's happy to do it. My brother does it. All the rest of the family, when they're judging, they do it. And I just said, it takes all the theatre away. Well, you know who your top tier horses are. You know who your top six horses are. That's all it matters to you. Once you pick your top six, and you told the steward which one's first, second, third, fourth, and fifth. That's all you have to do. We'll do the rest. Yeah. So don't have to worry about whether you get them in the right order or not. We don't have to worry about it. Actually, so Well, now we've managed to switch our microphones around a little bit upstairs here in the broadcast box. If nothing else, while we're sitting up here, we can at least share with you who our particular competitors are who are working out. This is number 149 of Class 263. A show had a hack over 16 hands and not over 16.2. This is Taralika Vision, and it's the nomination of Sky Renitz. Chestnut was foaled back in 2008. Well, the sire Caramere Checkmate out of the dam Snowview Toyu. So number 149 working out here in Class 263. Number 1505, Royalwood Concerto, Jessica Fraser from Tangel, Southern Victoria. Second placing going to number 1479, Holly's Galaxy, exhibited by Sarah Ryan and Halle Berry from Pakenham. Third placing goes to 1703, Warrawee Double Edition, Kelsey Bullivan from Albury in New South Wales. Fourth Placing to number 158, Colbeach Holly Snowing, Tamara Lee and Graham Elliott. Little City, Victoria. Fifth going to number 552, Hamlet Park Top Secret, the Benton and Benton Hall family from Murrum Bateman in New South Wales. Sixth ribbon goes to 1912, Headley Park Black Label. The nominator here is Matt Snell from Arcadia in New South Wales. So class 207, our Galloway over 14.2 and not over 15 hands. It's Tangel South in Victoria to Jessica Fraser aboard Warwood Concerto. Well, working out is our grey horse down here at the moment. Riley Shannon Windsor aboard a horse called Parisian. Former New Zealand horse, owned by Jan Clark. Side here by King's Chapel. The dam is Hooten Holler, a New Zealand mare. And used to race under the name of Parishon as a thoroughbred. Now has made the transition to the show ring. So we will probably see it in the off-the-track classes a little bit later on. So this is Parishon, number 664 in our catalogue here, Riley Shannon Windsor, owned by Jan Clark. So who's the next racehorse, this fella?
So there's your live streaming.
Well, he's quite a striking horse to have a look at, this fellow here, isn't he? We don't see too many of this colour in big horse classes as such. The name of the horse here is Opinion. Fiona McIntyre. And both Fiona and Opinion have been having some wonderful success around a few of the agricultural shows. He's by a horse called Kenlock Supreme, or actually it was Kenlock Superman. It was an imported German stallion out of a mare called Gertie. He was sired in November 2008. He's a gelding. And this is Fiona McIntyre aboard Opinion in class number 263. Show Hunter Hack over 16, not over 16.2. Well, that concludes all the individual workouts here for our Show Hunter Hack over 16, not over 16.2. And we'll be able to make the presentation for you in a few moments' time. Well, time for it to turn our attention to ring 2 at the moment. And the results coming here for our Show Hunter hack over 16 hands and not over 16-2. Now blue ribbon goes in the way of number 413. Dreamtime Lomax, exhibited by Romsey Park and Terry Van Huysen. And Julie Conti from Romsey in Victoria. I dare say Greg Mickham would be our rider down there. Our second placing going to 895, D'Artagnan and Stephanie O'Connor from Seaforth in New South Wales. Third placing awarded to number 664, Barashon. Riley Shannon Windsor from Kilmore in Victoria. Our fourth award to 936, Heavenly Park First Night, exhibited here by Donna White from Vectus in Victoria. Fifth goes to number 780. This is Opinion, Fiona McIntyre from Inverleigh in Victoria. And our final ribbon awarded to number 450, Glen Eagles Roberto Genamani from Sydney in New South Wales. So congratulations to Dreamtime Lomax and the team there from Romsey Park and Terry Van Huysen and Julie Conti and Greg Micken, taking out class number 263. Congratulations to our place getters as they do their little lap of honour in ring 2 and leave the arena as they pass you to show your appreciation for some beautiful animals. The big boys, 16 hands and not over 16 too. The big boys and big girls, that's even that matter. Richard Wright, our judge from Western Australia. Well, for our live stream audience, this is class number 264. We're watching at the moment out here, and this is our Shell Hunter Hack over 16 two hands. We'll endeavour to come back to you in a moment or two while we try and juggle the main commentary and this as well, just to enlighten you as to the individual competitors as they work out. Well, this is number 785, which we don't have in this class, 263, so it must be a transfer. And I'm just having a look here at 264, which is our Shell Hunter Hack over 16.2. And I'd say it's measured down by the look of things here. So 785 is the nomination of J&R Equestrians, owned by Tildy Logbottom. It's a horse called Power Play. Well, let's get back to our class here. 264, actually. This looks like Rebecca Crane's nomination here. Federer, owned by Rebecca. Foaled back on the 7th of November 2008 by the sire Falsterbo out of the dam Samara. Falsterbo was a European stallion brought out here. I would say by the name is named after our tennis star, so let's watch this pair work out here. Rebecca Crane's Federer.
Beating hearts don't lie.
number 792. We're watching here at the moment, Ribbleton, France, as I'm trying to do some results from ring 1 at the moment, but we'll endeavour to try and at least give you the name of the competitors on our live stream at the moment. Alana Richards and Ali Barrick's nomination here, owned by Alana Richards. This is Ribbleton, France, number 792 in class 264. Our show Hunter Hack over 16 two hands. Well, the horse we're watching now at the moment is almost completed. My apologies, but as I said before to our live stream audience, a little hard commentating one ring and trying to tell you what's happening in another. This is 1718, John DeMarco's nomination here, JD Montreal. by the great sire Zabeel. So his racing name, I think, was Lincoln Green, out of a mare called Emerald Jewel. Well, ill-fated Zabeel, didn't he leave some great horses behind? Mainly stayers. But JD Montreal, I think, has been a bit of a handful for the crew. I reckon I saw this horse in Adelaide, actually, and he won in Adelaide. JD Montreal, but he's been a work in motion for John, and they've succeeded in overcoming all the difficulties they've had, and they've produced now a rather tractable horse out here in the show ring. JD Montreal and John DeMarco's nomination here for Class 264. Show Hunter Hack over 16-2. Well, number 846, Romsey Park and Georgia Kellick's Belcom Caroline. Chestnut. She's a mare that was foaled in 2003 by the Sire Capone out of the Dam Prestige Cover Girl. Romsey Park's nomination here with Georgia Kellick, Belcom Caroline, number 846. Well, 827 will be our next horse to work out here. This is Equest Liberate, owned by Ava Halloran and ridden here by Alana Halloran. Foaled in 2010 in February as a gelding by the sire Shiraz Black out of the Dam Voluta La Diva. Equest Liberate, Alana Halloran, class number 264. Show Hunter Hack over 16-2.
Yes, here we are, shining diamonds, burning bridges as we go. And the drums are warm, are getting louder, a sound you never heard before. Gonna come to your town, gonna find your corner, and we'll soon be knocking on your door.
Well, our judge Richard Wright from Western Australia just taking a final look across the field here for this particular class, Class 264. And this is our show hunter hack over 16 two hands, and we'll come together with that result for you in a few moments' time. The thing I like about Richard's judging, and I would dearly love all our judges to be able to do the same thing, but it's their prerogative. He lines them up in no specific placement, which to me adds a little bit of theatre. For those of you sitting at home watching, you don't know actually who's won, because he might draw the winner from number 4 in the lineup or number 3 or whatever the case may be, whereas some of our other judges will line them up as they are presented. And to me, it just takes a little bit of that excitement and a little bit of theatre away. And we've noticed by the reaction of the crowd here so far that the reaction has really come from ring 2 this morning, more so than ring 1, by having that's the way the judge sees them. And by us announcing them and he draws them out in that particular order, it just adds a little bit of theatre and excitement to everyone here, because we don't know. It's not a foregone conclusion as we see them line up and naturally thinking, oh yes, she's won it, he's run second, he's run third. So it's a little bit of the element of surprise as well too. Well, both to our live stream audience and also to our audience in the grandstands here at the Royal Melbourne Show, we're about to make the presentation of class number 264. This is our show hunter hack over 16 two hands, and thank you to Catherine Schwartz, Mrs. Catherine Schwartz, making the presentation down here on behalf of the family. And our congratulations here will go to number 1986. This is Federer, exhibited by Rebecca Crane from Chandler in Queensland. So 1986 takes the blue ribbon. Federer, Rebecca Crane from Chandler in Queensland. Second will be awarded to number 792. I'll just repeat that for those of everybody here on the arena. Our winner, number 1986, Federer, Rebecca Crane from Chandler in Queensland. Well done, Rebecca, to you. Our second place getter was number 792, Ribbleton, France, Alana Richards, and Ali Berwick from Pakenham Upper in Victoria. Our third placing will go to 785, Power Play, exhibited by J&R Equestrian from the Oaks in New South Wales. Fourth placing goes to number 1282, Warrawee Dimenti, Elizabeth Krog from Curnow in Victoria. Warrawee Dimenti from Elizabeth Krog, number 1282, takes the fourth ribbon. Our fifth placing goes to 827, Equest Liberate, Alana Halloran from Mottawarri in Victoria. Our sixth placing goes to 1718, JD Montreal, exhibited by John DeMarco from Oaklands Junction in Victoria. So just recapping, number 1986 Federer, Rebecca Crane. Second, 792, Ribbleton, France, Alana Richards and Ali Berwick. Third, number 785, Power Play, J&R Equestrian, the Oaks, New South Wales. Fourth, number 1282, Warrawee Dimenti, Elizabeth Krog from Curnow in Victoria. Fifth, going to 827, Equest Liberate, Alana Halloran from Mottawarri in Victoria. And our final ribbon here going to number 1718, JD Montreal, John DeMarco, Oaklands Junction here in Victoria. Well, for those of you watching at home, we're looking at our judge here, having a look at our horses working on the circle here. This is our Show Hunter Hack Mare over 15 hands. I can tell you we've got a couple of scratchings by the look of things. The competitors are number 512, which will be Brooke Wheeler and Royal Dancer. Number 656 will be Colleen Waddell and Elio Callis. Number 846, which is Romsey Park and Georgia Kellick's nomination, Belcom Caroline. Number 905, Mr. Scott and Mrs. Rachel Vessel with Bella Rosa. Number 1478, Abby Heifer and Axe Rumour Has It. And number 1908, Julie Wender's Invic Unforgettable. So we have no Devara Royal Flirt and we have no Prima Donna for Rachel Addison. So they are the two scratchings I think we're looking at here at the moment. We just have the 6 horses to work out. And our first one is Romsey Park and Georgie Kellick's nomination, Belcom Caroline. Foaled in November 2003 by the Sire Capone out of the Dam Prestige Cover Girl. Well, conditions really here have improved out of sight. We had a little bit of drizzle earlier on. I was led to believe that it was quite wet at the parade for the 2 AFL teams fighting off in the grand final tomorrow in the city. We're lucky enough here at the moment. It's sun's trying to break through. I don't think it's going to have a lot of luck today, but it's not going to be all that cold, I don't think, by the same token. And we'll just hope that that rain can stay away, if not the showers as well too. So conditions ideal for showing at the moment. No wind. Horses all behaving well. And riders being much, much more comfortable as well. Belcom Caroline, the first to work out in our Show Hunter Hack Mare. Julie Wender's nomination here, Invic Unforgettable, the next combination to work. Chestnut Foaled 2008, September, by the Sire Royal Joker out of the Dam Break of Day. Racing name was Grossi, which doesn't ring a bell to me at all. It's always nice to have a look back and find out what their racing names were. And we can follow the fortunes. Of course, we now have, our off the track as well too, which is giving our racehorses and our thoroughbreds a second lease of life and a lovely home. And of course, the chance to show off in the show ring now and vie for the blue ribbon. Just a little after lunch today, we'll be having, at 2 o'clock we start, the Gentlemen's Racing Victoria off the track spring fashion at the show. This is our led section of the off the tracks with our thoroughbred, to be followed by our Ladies Racing Victoria off the track spring fashions at the show. And then, of course, to finish off with, we have our Ladies Racing Victoria off the track spring fashion at the show, led off the track thoroughbred final as well too. So I'm sure our ladies will be getting frocked up. The boys will be smartening themselves up as well too for those classes, something a little bit different. beginning at 2 o'clock this afternoon. So hopefully we can bring you some of those highlights and some of that colour. Meanwhile, this is Invic Unforgettable here with Julie Wendy, working out here for the second of our horses to work out in class 267. Well, our next combination to work out is number 905. Mr. Scott and Mrs. Rachel Vessel's nomination, Bella Rosa. And the apprentice has arrived. Well, actually, I shouldn't call her the apprentice. She's making a name for herself in her own right. But daughter number 1, you can sit down and take over from Dad while I go back and do my commentary out of ring 1, if that's okay.
Well, it makes for all things a difficult day for you up here, Rob, whilst you've been doing both the main commentary and the live stream as well. If you've been wondering where I got to, I've had the absolute pleasure of going and meeting some of our Gary Owen riders to do a few pieces to camera in relation to our Gary Owen that's coming up here on Sunday. It's nice to know that it is warming up out there, even though I think there's still a bit of rain scheduled, but all things said, it's actually starting to warm up, because it did get bitterly cold earlier on when I was down on ringside. So back in the broadcast box up here in a nice warm space, and currently watching this combination out here. So this class, I'll have to reference Dad, if you'd like to inform me on the class that we are watching out here in ring number 2. Over here, far side, it's class 267, our show hunter hack mares, is it? Our mares class. So there's only 6 of the 8 that are out there competing. So this combination is into the hand gallop stage of the workout. Back down through the transitions before we halt in front of our judge.
We'd love to call forward our winner, number 434, Bravey Invader, Ella and Lauren O'Doherty from Glengarry, Victoria. Actually, I think I said Invader, it should be Evander. My apologies, girls. Second place goes to 1754, Daisy Soulstar.
So as we sit here, I'll gather the binoculars for everybody sitting back at home and see if I can pick up this number. I can pick up the fact that it's got a 4 in it, but as I said, I'm a long way away up here. So bear with me, everybody sitting back at home. Looks like a 1478. It'll be Axe Rumour Has It, owned by Abby Heifer. Now, I did learn something a little bit earlier today in relation to these classes in terms of our show hunters, our hack mare, which is a special class, as well as I'm anticipating our gelding class, might come out a little bit later, is that if you happen to win this particular class and you've never won at a royal show before, you are still, in the eyes of a royal show, actually eligible for a novice. So I know that there was a horse out there earlier that had won last year here at the Melbourne Royal Show in the gelding class, and I actually asked the competitors and said, listen, how is it that I saw you win a class out here last year and yet you're still eligible for novice? And she said, no, the special classes, being that the mare and the gelding classes, you can still compete in a novice even though you've won at a Royal Show. So there you go. You never stop learning in this industry, and that's something that I've picked up and taken away today, that Even if you happen to win this class, you are still technically a novice at Royal Show level if you've not already won at a Royal. "512", this is Brooke Wheeler's nomination, Royal Dancer.
Well, our winners right off. Congratulations to Brady, Lavanda, Ella, and Lauren Doherty from Gary. Well done, ladies. Lizzie Brett Solstar, second, Chanel Hunter. Rachel Royal Affair, third, for Fiona Walsh. Lauren Wignassa, fourth, for Ultra Williams. Wynega Prince George for Burns Banks and Gore Johnsons. Team from Clyde in Victoria. Farley Manara, Enigma for Michelle McLean from Essendon.
Well, for everybody sitting at home, you are getting a little bit of an insight. I'm sure you can hear it through the microphone as to some of the busyness that is our broadcast box up here at Melbourne Royal Show. The action is always thick and fast as we watch this horse make the extension of the trot across the diagonal. Royal Dancer for Brooke Wheeler. We hope that everybody sitting at home is enjoying our live coverage that we are bringing from this year's Royal Melbourne Show. And again, tomorrow, I know that a lot of you are interested in our hat classes. We will be doing the commentary, of course, from our Providence Cup, our Pope Cup, and our Mac Reeves Champion Hack. And as I am in the broadcast, someone by the name of Rob Gaylard just said, "What is this wee business?" Does that mean that I will be doing the live stream? I will be leaving you and going to the live stream. Oh no, that's this afternoon. I'm going to the Gary Owen. Hi T. He gets his days wrong. Alzheimer's has kicked in already, everybody back at home. And now you've got to listen. This is what I have to put up with day in, day out from the broadcast box. Anyway, getting back, focusing on the event. We've just seen this beautiful grey horse. This lovely mare. Looks like we've got another one coming in. Let me see if I can get that number for you. "656 will be Ali O'Carlis. Will you stop it? Sorry, everybody. I really need to go back down ringside so I don't have to put up with this. It's a tough life when you're up here. This is Colin Waddell's nomination. I'm sorry. You want to have my job, everyone. I have to put up with this every day. So if you're wanting to know what we were laughing about up here, Dad's talking about the aircraft that are flying overhead now. He's trying to tell me that that was a Beechcraft going over. In fact, it actually sounded more like a Bonanza, so I'll fix you on that one. He's doing his very best to distract me, so it's often quite a game that we play in the broadcast boxes. Who can try and distract the other whilst we are on air? And as you can see, we are ever the professionals. Dad reckons he's 40 and 30 and he's serving. So he's the 40, I'm the 30. Lovely simple change back there through the walk. So I guess everyone sitting and listening at home, you're all broadcasters at the moment because you're here with us, living what goes on up in our main broadcast box here at Melbourne Show. So we ask for a hand gallop. From a jockey's perspective, I always think that when we want to have a hand gallop, I'd really like to see a horse covering the ground, really pushing across and showing the difference between a canter and a gallop to show more propulsion. But again, once more, that's just my perspective. I'm not sure what your perspective at home is. I haven't particularly shown a horse in saddle since 2004, bearing that I was very successful when I was showing, but it's been a long time since I've been on the back in a show ring riding a horse. So potentially what I think is what they used to ask for back in the days when I was a young lady as opposed to what they ask for now might be two different things. But I just feel sometimes I love some of these riders to really let their horses cover the ground. But that, as I say, might just be the jockey in me. Yes, I am an old lady. See what I have to put up with? He's calling me old. So as we've been watching Richard do all morning with his notebook, as you can see, you're getting a good shot of that at home. He's writing down his notes and making sure, as I said earlier, he gets the chance when he sees his horses line up to really have a look over their conformation, over their legs, make sure there's no faults. As I said, it's probably a difficult task nowadays to find a horse that may have potentially have come off the track, or even one that's had a career in some way, shape and form at any other discipline that's not got any imperfections in the legs or blemishes. So we will sit back and anxiously await the results here for this particular class. So for everybody back at home, I'll throw the microphone in front of Dad whilst he's doing the main broadcast, so you're hearing it exactly as we call it here at Melbourne Show.
Well, as you can probably hear in the background, for those listening on our live audience, of course, we've got our own orchestra in the background here. We love to play a little fanfare here at Melbourne to signify to our friends down at ground level that we are prepared and ready for the presentation. Gives us a little bit of regal feeling, something that I've picked up from overseas in many of my journeys, that of the horse shows around the world, as to how they produce. And I think it's nice to bring it here to Melbourne as well too. Plaque supported by Horse Deals here for this class. This is our Show Hunter Hack Mare over 15 hands. We'd love to call forward number 1478, Abby Heifer aboard. Axe Rumour Has It. Well done, Abby. We move on to our second placing, which is number 905, Bella Rosa, exhibited by Mr. Scott and Mrs. Rachel Vessel from Clonbinane in Victoria. Our third ribbon will go to number 846, Belcam Caroline, exhibited by Romsey Park and Georgia Kellick from Hawthorne East in Victoria. Fourth placing goes to 656, Elio Callis, Colleen Waddell's nomination here from Pheasant Creek. And fifth placing going to 512, Royal Dancer, Brooke Wheeler from Hill End, Victoria. And sixth going to 1908, Invic Unforgettable, exhibited here by Julie Wendy from Maiden Gully in Victoria. So that was class 267, our Show Hunter Hack Mare over 15 hands. Axe Rumour Has It, Abby Heifer. And of course, if my memory serves me right, Abby had a lovely little grey horse called Pink I Am, I think was its name, for many years. Was quite a prolific winner. And this is the new horse on the scene for Abby. It was foaled in 2012. A lovely brown mare, of course, naturally. The sire by Royal Hit, which was a German sire, and the dam was Rapunzel. So, Case, I'll hand it back to you, and I'll go back to getting the orchestra organised as we play them off.
Well, I hope for everyone sitting at home that you are enjoying our coverage, as we've still got another class to go before we break for our lunchtime entertainment here at the Royal Melbourne Show. This time it will be our Show Hunter Hack Gelding class. So as we say farewell, we'll sit back and enjoy, let you all watch this magnificent horse as he leaves the arena.
Yes, here we are, shining diamonds, burning bridges as we go. And the drums of war are getting louder, a sound you never heard before. Gonna come to your town, gonna find your corner, and we'll soon be knocking on your door. Gonna come to your town, gonna find your corner, and we'll soon be knocking on your door.
Well, welcome back to our live stream out here for ring number 2, of course, our Show Hunter Hacks. And it looks as though this time we're up to our Show Hunter gelding class for our horses 15 and not over 16 hands. This is the second of our heats to come out. So I know that we were running some ads previously. So this is the second of our heats that you are currently watching. So our judge has called in 5 horses off the first heat. So he's certainly taken a fair few horses out of the first heat. And now we are watching the second of our heats out here for this particular class. It's a very big class. It's a gelding class. Plenty of geldings around. And as we mentioned, it's a last ditch chance to get yourself a blue ribbon. This time competing against the horse's own sex. Surprisingly enough, just looking from up here, and as I say, my view up here is a completely different view to what I've been doing down on ringside, but a lot of our horses, I even saw it in the first of our heats, they just seem, for whatever reason, a little bit more tense out there at the minute than what they were earlier. Not too sure as to why, but then again, horses are very good at picking up temperature change and weather conditions, so maybe they know a little bit more than what we do. So our first few horses are coming in off the circle now. And as you can see, it looks as though our judge has called his horses. That's it. Thank you very much. Says our stewards, as these horses start to leave the arena. It's disappointing, but it's a big class. Like the first heat, there were plenty of horses that come out. There you have it. Now I can see why some of the horses looked a little bit stiff. It is raining. So that might be a reason as to why. As I said, our horses are very good at feeling temperature change, and that's probably why. Now, I'm pretty sure that this will be Andrea Mary, but I'll just double check that number to make sure that that is indeed the horse that we are watching on screen as he comes straight at me, if my goggles will focus. 1634. And it is, it's Contador. We're seeing the first of our horses out. It is Andrea Mary. Contador working beautifully out here. Now this particular horse is one that I'm myself personally quite partial to. I'd love to have this particular horse in my stables back at home. He just looks such a comfortable horse to ride. So as you can see, as far as workouts go, that was a really neat workout displayed by Contador and Andrea Mary. really starting to rain now. Now, I know the rider out here is Jess Stones, but I'm just trying to pick up the number of the horse. Looks like a 269. In fact, I'd say it's a 289. It will be Coldstream Ultimate, owned by Chloe Stratford and Jane R. Equestrian, nominated by Wendy Stratford. Well, another really lovely workout being displayed out here by Coldstream Ultimate. So 698 is the next of our horses. 698 is Delegate, owned by Olivia Daffin, also nominated by J&R Equestrian.
Here I am again.
The next horse out on screen, as we can see now, is SLM Valentino, number 1576, owned by Bryony Lee. So for all of our live stream watchers, this is 574. This is DP Standing Ovation, nominated by Jake Kerr. In fact, I've enjoyed watching a few of the progeny of this particular stallion, which is Elvstrom. So this is the sire of DP Standing Ovation. I enjoy watching the Elvstroms. So I had a little bit to do with Elvstrom back in the day. Well, this is Revelwood Rio that we are watching now, nominated by Lauren Peters. Again, we've just started to get into the canner part of this particular workout as we watch Simple Change. So now we're about to get into the hand gallop side of things. We'll see, just a little bit disunited there, a bit unbalanced. He was really lazy earlier in his classes when I spoke about this bloke, and he almost looks as though he's doing the same thing out here again now. He's just probably, dare I say, getting a little bit tired. And look, shit, he's come back to a trot. Just really making it hard work for this rider. And he's unbalanced himself again. Oh, well, sometimes you have your day, and on today, he was good enough and worked well enough for him to get called in out of this huge big class, so I dare say that they'll be really disappointed with his work out there. But we all have those days. So in a moment or two's time, we will get underway with the ribbons and the place gettings for this particular class. And I think, as I said earlier, this will be the last of our classes this afternoon, or should I say from this morning's competition, even though it is afternoon now. Our lunchtime entertainment here kicks off at 1 o'clock. So this is the last of our classes before what we would call our official lunchtime. And then after that, we go into my world a little bit. We welcome in our hacks again. But this time it's for our Gentlemen's Racing Victoria off-the-track spring fashion at the show. So it's a lead off-the-track special, of course. Racing Victoria have been our primary partner here with our Gary Owen this year and their off-the-track scenario. So we really, really love these classes. So Racing Victoria, it's great to have our ladies Racing Victoria off-the-track spring fashion show here too. So our gentlemen and our ladies getting every opportunity to shine. But at the moment we are watching our gelding class out on screen for our show Hunter Hack Geldings over 15 hands. The results now for class 265. It's our show Hunter Hack Gelding for our horses over 15 and not exceeding 16 hands. Our winner, we call forward exhibitor number 289. It's Coldstream Ultimate, nominated by Wendy Stratford from Wilberforce in New South Wales. Well done, Wendy. Second place goes to 1576. It's SLM Valentino, nominated and owned by Bryony Lee from Whittlesea here in Victoria. Third place goes to 1634. It's Quantador, nominated by Andrea Merriff from Meningie in South Australia. Fourth place goes to 698. It's Delegate, nominated by JNR Equestrian from the Oaks in New South Wales. Our fifth ribbon goes to DP Standing Ovation, the nomination of Jake Kerr from Lewiston in South Australia, number 574. And that means our sixth and final ribbon goes to 1385. It's Ariston Liaison, nominated by the Ariston Stud from Geelong here in Victoria. So once again, congratulations to Wendy and the team behind Coldstream Ultimate, taking out our class here, 265 for our show Hunter Hack Geldings. A special class here for our horses over 15 and not exceeding 16 hands. So farewell to our live stream, as I said, as we're watching a picture here, which is Coldstream Ultimate, as we leave the arena from our live streaming's perspective. We're about to take a break and our rings kick off again here at 2 p.m. So for now, we hope you at home enjoy your lunchtime break.